Hello, this is Tanuki Sparkle. I'm recording a demo review for Mr. TSM. This is actually take 2 because I was just watching the first minute or so without realising that my microphone was muted. So there's that, proving how professional I am. In this review I'm going to try and focus as much as I can on positioning and game sense rather than just deathmatch ability. But it may well come up at some point anyway, just because it's always an issue for every player. Like even Premiership players can always improve their deathmatch. I noticed your loadout right now is just stock. It's, well, a frying pan, pretty much stock. While I do love the stock loadout for Scout, I certainly prefer pistol over anything else. Can't argue with the scattergun. There is always room in Highlander for utility and perhaps sort of more niche weapons. Milk is ridiculously good. Don't be afraid to use that, especially when they're all grouped up on the cart at the early push like this. It's also nice to have something like a Atomizer or a Boston Basher or even a Sandman, whatever you prefer, as a sort of tertiary that gives you utility, because you'll never really be using the stock bat as a scout unless it's a very desperate situation. Having a sort of extra option there is always nice. It doesn't really cost you anything. I was going to talk about your position there. It's a very enclosed space. I don't know why you want to hold in there. There's classes that can hold in there much better than you. Say a demo man just watching the exit, heavy just watching the exit. Even a soldier standing inside will do better than a scout standing in there. It's very easy to get spammed. No places really to retreat out because it's always going to be spam around you. And you're in an enclosed space. It's not the best place for a scout to be. Where you're going now is sort of more appropriate, but as you can see, by the time you've got back here, the team's already pushing up that side. Just think about your positioning, sort of try and keep away from where the enemy heavy classes might be, and additionally try and keep away from spam. It's just going to make life difficult for you. I like what you're doing, just floating around, sort of putting general pressure on. It's unfortunate there's a mini-sentry stopping doing much work, but you know, sometimes you have to accept that as a scout. You're getting a little bit... I'm not sure what you're planning on doing there, just by standing on the cart. It's just attracting damage onto yourself. Got away with it okay, though. Not sure what the purpose is here. Maybe the scout, maybe a spy was called out. That's fair enough. Okay, so here I don't know if you've been doing it, but you should be calling out. They're all coming into the house from the top. You seem to be doing that all right. You're not getting too aggressive. Well done with the soldier. I like the fact that you didn't go in and try and go huge or anything like that. You played, you know, passively enough. You did well. You hopefully alerted the team to their presence and played it correctly. I wish I could press tab and see how many players you have up there. I'm assuming that the point was sort of lost. You were going for sort of any delay you could. Otherwise, it would probably have been better at that stage, rather than going into that house, which is again a horrible enclosed space, to think about backing off, using your time to cover some flank. Surviving is very important for any Highlander class, not just Scout. If you'd have backed off there, there'd have been one more player up for this hold. It's not going to make too much difference in the long run, I suppose, but it's something to think about. Applies to any point, not just this one. What I would say there is that you're not the class that should be getting up in the front face of the team. You were the only person on your team who was right up there, right up in the front of them. Basically in front of the whole team and taking a lot of damage because of it. As a result, the flank was completely uncovered, which is in reality your job, and the soldier came through the flank and punished you for it. So now you're wised up a bit, you're checking the flank more, that's good. There's more than one flank, by the way. I'm just going to refer to all of them as flank. That was unfortunate. Oh man, that was very unfortunate. So just backing off now, hopefully. Yeah, that's good. The point's lost. You backed off. That's good. That's a good play. I like that you're going up to the top ground, holding it up top. That's good. Getting a lot of spam on the heavy. I like it. You might want to be checking behind you now, especially if things have been called going into house. Hopefully you're alright. No, that's good. Got enough damage. Come back in. Holding the house is very, very important. If you can hold it rather than the enemy, it makes it very difficult for them to actually push into a full team. there's not much you're going to be able to do here. I like the fact that you backed off instead of just going for something silly. That was very good. Well done. He likes disguising his energy, doesn't he? Alright, this is good. Holding this side is a very good thing for a scout to do. It's difficult for other players to sort of find time to do it when there's so much more things they could do that's more useful. So for a scout to come down here, sniper as well, is very good. The other thing you could be doing is going up to the top left side, supporting your soldier. I'm not sure if you're going to be doing that, but it doesn't look like they have much presence in here anyway. This is good. Checking out everything. Oh wow, they managed to push in quite significantly. I would like to be able to see the Source TV to see if they did push in through a different flank, but really you were doing your job there. I can't think anything was that to your fault there. But cleaned up nicely. Pushing out quite far here. You could have been taking up a nice position. They know you're here. Well, they should know you're here. They've seen you going past. But no, okay. Oh, well, it worked out. It's good. I suppose it was good play in the end. You know, it was devious. It caught them off guard, and you've got the deathmatch ability to make it pay off as well. Personally, I would have liked to have seen you taking up a good hold position, making it difficult for them to get any sort of ground. But what you did pay off, so I'm not going to berate you too much for it. Oh, you were doing well, just keeping them sort of paranoid, but you either need to try and get out or keep your distance and make them paranoid. You got a little bit too close for comfort, and it was unfortunate. Unfortunate that you got forced. The team got forced there as well. You need to get that medic down. That's not going to happen. Okay, so you go back to the right hand side again. That's good. I don't know if it appeared the same way when you were playing, but you saw the never mind. Yeah, you don't know why you got so aggressive there, but as a result now your flank is sort of more open. You need another player to sort of pick up the slack, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see the enemy team taking advantage of that. It might not be such a problem in Division 6, I don't really know, but I'm not sure who you got. Yeah, see now that right hand side now is completely belonging to the enemy, and they've actually pushed in through it as well. So there we go. I like what you're doing, staying out of the Uber fight. Scout can't really do much. Coming in after, that's a good way of playing it. Jumping around the cart is always good. Mini sentries are horrible. Okay, I'd like to see where you go after this. You've done well. You've cleared up. You've checked around. I would not recommend ever pushing out from that door as a scout. You were lucky that there was not many players already up there, and it's not really your job to watch that door either. Like again, you want to be watching the flanks rather than the main entrances, and that is so aggressive when you know there's a heavy around there. You are lucky to be alive. See what? Oh dear. You've done very well there to survive. I like your dodging ability, but you wouldn't have had the problem if you were sort of playing perhaps more passively, you know, more in a flank position. If you need support on the flank, just call it out and you hopefully get your soldier to respond, come help you out. So you've seen the Ubers in, you're picking off the targets that aren't Ubered. That's perfect play in an Uber fight, well done. Unfortunately, you got a little bit too aggressive again onto that door, which it's thinking about as a scout, where are you most effective? You want to be sort of going into an open place where you have the advantage. They don't know you're coming at you. I mean, there you were called out. You'd already checked the demo. He would have said there's a scout in main. The soldier would have reacted to that. Well, someone was going to react to that and go, okay, scout in main. I can pick that off. I can help out my demo here. We need to keep our demo up. You need to think about these sort of decisions when you go for a pick or not. So you're pissed on right now, you don't want to go too far forward, you know the soldier's there. You're doing well. Not getting too hot. Yeah, this is good. You're keeping the pressure on the flank. You're not giving it up, but you're not going too far into them either. This play is nice, yeah. Well done as well. Nice pick. You're floating around. See, what I like now is that you're still watching that main door, but you're not actually pushing into it like you were before. So you're keeping the pressure on. You're keeping enemies from coming through, but you're not making the mistake of walking too far in. Unfortunately, watching your sniper there, trying to keep him up, no one else watching the main door. You know, things like that happen sometimes. Just a little bit more awareness from either you or teammates, and you would have been fine, but, you know, these things happen. Go on, Router, shoot that mini-sentry. See, I haven't seen you use your pistol the entire game. I just want to point that out. The second I say it, you bring it out. Okay, regardless of this 3-round pistol spree, well, I really think you could have started using your scattergun again. Apart from that, you didn't really use the pistol that much. I do think that something like the Mad Milk could have been quite useful, especially when they were pushing in, their Uber's faded, and your team is really hurting. You haven't had the Uber to defend with. You need to get some health back. That Mad Milk on a big group of players is going to do huge amounts of work for your team. Bonk, I'm guessing you're going sort of coordinated sentry plays. That's good. I'd like to know what your melee is, but I can't see it, unfortunately. Can I press F? No, I can't. Oh well. That's fine. You can be using this time to look out of spawn. You don't have to be hiding right here. I don't know if you're going to bonk out of spawn or not. There's not usually a need to. You can get quite far out without having to bonk, and then you can bonk further in to go with your team, so they're distracted, team jumps in, hopefully do some work. It doesn't have to always be a sentry thing either, which I'm sure you already know.
Mission begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, soldier's right out there, so maybe bonking isn't such a bad idea, but you see, you've gone a huge amount of distance before even having to make use of the bonk, and by the time you actually get to it, it's almost faded. You can't spend too much time dodging, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of that, and you surfed damage out. If you didn't surf it out, you just got knocked out by accident. Well, you know, I'm just giving you too much credit, I guess, but well done for backing off with low health. Now is the sort of time you want to be bonking into that sentry, giving the team a distraction chance. So you don't want to be popping in your Uber so early as well. You want to have that suicide rush, try and get the sentry down. I hope you called that out. Well done. Go on, you got your team. Your team's popped now. Just stay on the cart and get it pushed while your team's Ubering. You don't want to come into that Uber fight while they're up there. You want to keep the cart rolling. That's your main job on the offensive team. Well done to back off there. I hope you're calling out to your team, need help on that demo, I can't get this cart moving. It's not happening, is it? You need some more support. It's good though, just keep floating around, keep that pressure on, make him focus on you. This is really good play. Hopefully you saw that spy there on the left. No need to bonk just yet. Oh, it looks like the spy managed to get the medic, unfortunately. That is a shame. It seems like you're forgetting, yeah, it's that same sort of comment on defense as offense now. It's that area where all the heavy classes like to be is going to be difficult for a scout to do anything. You don't want to come out of a small chokeway into an area with lots of heavies. And really, this first point is difficult as a scout. You know, if you go up the left into the house, you're likely to run into something quite strong. If you go straight up the ramp, you're running into a sentry or some heavy classes. If you go into the house, you're running into a sentry or some heavy classes. There's not much you can do. I don't know if you're going to try and get behind them here, or Joseph will just try and distract the sentry. I suppose it is a distraction play. With no support from the team, there's... Oh, that is really unlucky. But with no support from the team, there is no point bonking in. If it's not coordinated, there's no point even bothering. And it didn't look like the team was in a position to support you there, so it was a waste of a bonk. And then now they've got Uber advantage as well. Hopefully, you can get the sentry before he gets the sentry up. It's a good play to try and get in. He's only just building it now. You should be on that thing, destroying it. Waste his metal. So now he's going to have a sentry up as well. Oh, that's a shame. Just jump. Hopefully back. No. that's unfortunate. You were getting too aggressive into them as well when you could have been doing more important things like pressuring the cart. See, the cart's gone back again now. You could have been pressuring the cart. You could have been keeping that NG from building again. And instead you went after Scout and Sniper 2v1 in a very, very aggressive position. It isn't going to end well. See if you've got team support here. The enemy team is all very well nicely set up there to try and defend that. Your team's busy fighting elsewhere. They're not going to be able to come in and make use of your bonk. That's good. You want to sort of stop being so aggressive though. The team's going to come back and sort you out. Then again, I say that was a very nice play to get them behind them and take 2 picks like that. Despite the fact you got picked off by the demo, 2 nice picks is good. It's going to give your team an opportunity. They don't have to worry about the sniper now. That's very important. Unfortunately, there's only 1 minute left, 1 minute-ish, so I'm guessing that's pretty much it for the round. See if you can just knock that cart over. That's good. Nicely done. It's a shame you can't actually roll it far enough, really, but keeping them occupied is good. It's very good. I know it's tempting to go for the medic. I hope you get him, but no. When he had so many players around him, to get him that low is, first of all, quite impressive. Second of all, quite surprising that the enemy team with 4 or 5 players there didn't stop you. But realistically, you actually have time left now as well because you capped it. Realistically, you weren't going to get it with so many players there. You'd be more beneficial to back off, keep yourself up, get that cart rolling as much as you can. That is your main focus as a scout on the on the blue team on Highland payload. Go on, get it. No, it's too late. Get off. Yeah, you can say the medic's weak, but in the end, you pushed it too hard. You lost yourself that player up, and then the medic to top it all off, which is adding insult to injury, got an Ubersaur on you, which gave you, a disadvantage. So unfortunately, you didn't get any heals in there. There's not much else you could have done. You had to wait. So I'm not going to blame you for not watching flanks here. Team looks to be doing quite well though. You should be on the cart in this push. Like this cart, you should have been on this cart the whole time here. Your team is responsible for pushing up. Your team is doing a fine job of pushing up. It's been well after the Uber push now, and the cart hasn't rolled a bit. Your team, yeah, the cart was completely uncovered. You could have rolled it all the way to the end there before they actually got the chance to come back and stop you. Don't forget that as a scout. Like, yes, it's not the only thing you need to be doing, but it is the main thing. You are ×2 on the cap. You, the NG, and sometimes someone else if one of you are down. Maybe a soldier can go on it, or a sniper, maybe even a spy sometimes. You're the classes that need to be on that cart, and if no one else is doing it, it's always you if you're able, and you were very much able there. Very nicely done to get the heavy to drop down, actually. Surprised you managed to survive that long with Girardi on you, and getting them out of position. That's nice. Crit screen, I'm not so sure about, but they don't have a sentry up, so it makes sense. That's not you, by the way. I'm just talking about KSV in general. Good. Hopefully taking them out. You got the support from the heavy. It shouldn't be too hard. Oh, wow. That's. Oh, you always reload. Always. Very, very lucky to get that with 10 health left. I like that you're holding up here though. It's a good flank to hold. It stops the enemy scout or soldier getting in. You're getting way, way, way too aggressive. They saw you up there. They can very easily spam that ledge. All you need to do is hold it. You don't need to get up in their face or anything. Stopping them getting behind you is far more important. I may have to pause the thing for a second. My boyfriend's just come home, but I'll edit it out later. Okay. What are you doing? Okay, using bonk to get behind is just fine. Don't forget they had literally just seen you go behind. There was very little chance they weren't going to be aware of you. And really, again, bonk is something that you either want to use to get behind, like you did, or coordinate it with your team. And if you are going to get behind, don't waste it away by just running straight into the whole group of them. Very nice. Oh, go on, you can do it. That's a shame. The team was already losing the fight, it looks like. So it's not a bad idea to try and getting some cleanup like that. You got a few decent bits of damage off. Hopefully your team can capitalise on it. Although there's only 2 minutes left overall if you do cap, so it's going to have to be a good push. There we go. That's unfortunate. You're right to be holding in there. It was a shame that the soldier was already pre-firing to get rid of this entry. Just be aware of things like that, I guess. There's not much you can do about it. But in a sort of high traffic area where there might already be things coming, just keep it in your mind sometimes. Cart's rolling, it's doing well. You're going to need to stay... Oh, they've popped in, okay. Unless that was called out, there's nothing you could have done there. If it was called out, then don't make that mistake again, I guess. But without knowing, it looked like the cart was going strong. It looked like you were doing really well. I don't blame you at all for going through there and getting picked off. Okay, so it looks like this is getting wrapped up a bit better now. Nicely done through the flank again. It's a shame you can't really push it though because you're right there. You're doing really well on him, to be fair, but a soldier with the rockets right next to you is always going to win out. Okay, I believe that was part 1. Yeah, that's the whole of part 1. I shall do part 2 in a moment. Main things to look at from that game were positioning. Well, mainly just positioning in total. You're always going to be looking at the flank as a scout. Hugely important job. Things get behind if you're not doing your job. And staying on the cart more is the primary objective. It's going to force the team onto you, which is huge for your team, spamming them as well. It's not the same role as 6v6 where you want to be doing a lot of picking and cleanup. Although it is still the role, it's not as focused on that as it is in 6v6. Your main job is the positioning, is the holding, and is the cart pushing. Okay, I'll move on to part 2.